सेवंथ पे में कहा गया था जो 50% डीए होने के बाद उसे बेसिक में मर्ज कर दिया जाएगा, तो कब इसको इस मामले पे कोई ये बैठक में विचार किया गया है?
जो 7th पे कमीशन की तो रिकमेंडेशंस ऑलरेडी इंप्लीमेंट हो चुकी है।
कहा गया था जो 50% से एबव होने पर डीए उसे बेसिक में मर्ज करके टिल
आपका क्वेश्चन नोट कर लो।
मैं नोट कर लेता हूं, मैं समझ गया।
फैसला है जिसमें जो केंद्र के कर्मचारी है, और जैसा आप जानते हैं वन सेंट्रल पे कमीशन कम्स, उसके बाद में करीब करीब हर देश के जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं वो सब उसी को फॉलो करते हैं। वेतन आयोग आप जानते हैं पिछला वेतन आयोग 2016 में स्थापित हुआ था, 7th पे कमीशन, जिसकी टर्म 2026 तक है। तो वेल बिफोर 2026 इसकी रिकमेंडेशंस आके सो दैट 2026 में इसको लागू किया जा सके, इस हिसाब से आज ये फैसला है। करीब एग्जैक्ट नंबर आपको दे दी।
हाँ।
करीब 50 लाख के आसपास है टोटल एम्प्लॉइज।
तो 2 नंबर
मैं साथियों इसके बाद में आता हूं, जो कैबिनेट में नहीं था फैसला, लेकिन आपकी जानकारी के लिए रखना चाहता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने केंद्र सरकार के सभी कर्मचारियों के लिए 8th सेंट्रल पे कमीशन को मंजूरी दे दी है। 8th सेंट्रल पे कमीशन आप सब जानते हैं 1947 से अब तक 7 पे कमीशंस हुए हैं, और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक रेगुलर रिदम के साथ पे कमीशन बनाने का जो एक संकल्प लिया है, उसके हिसाब से 2016 में लास्ट पे कमीशन 7th पे कमीशन स्टार्ट हुआ था। तो 2026 में इसका टर्म कंप्लीट होता है। उससे वेल बिफोर 2025 में 8th पे कमीशन स्टैब्लिश करने से सफिशिएंट टाइम मिलेगा so that the recommendations can be received well before the completion of the period of 7th पे कमीशन। जैसा आप जानते हैं इसमें मैसिव कंसल्टेशन होगा with the state governments, with all the different stakeholders in the central government, in the PSUs, इन सब के साथ डिटेल्ड कंसल्टेशन होगा, और चेयरमैन एंड 2 मेंबर्स का भी शीघ्र अपॉइंटमेंट होगा। एक तरीके से ये एक बहुत बड़ा फैसला है जिसमें जो केंद्र के कर्मचारी है, और जैसा आप जानते हैं वन सेंट्रल पे कमीशन कम्स, उसके बाद में करीब करीब हर देश के जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं वो सब उसी को फॉलो करते हैं। वेतन आयोग आप जानते हैं पिछला वेतन आयोग 2016 में स्थापित हुआ था, 7th पे कमीशन, जिसकी टर्म 2026 तक है। तो वेल बिफोर 2026 इसकी रिकमेंडेशंस आके सो दैट 2026 में इसको लागू किया जा सके, इस हिसाब से आज ये फैसला है। करीब एग्जैक्ट नंबर आपको दे दी।
हाँ।
करीब 50 लाख के आसपास है टोटल एम्प्लॉइज।
तो
ये 7th पे में कहा गया था जो 50% डीए होने के बाद उसे बेसिक में मर्ज कर दिया जाएगा, तो कब इस मामले पे कोई ये बैठक में विचार किया गया है?
जो 7th पे कमीशन की तो रिकमेंडेशंस ऑलरेडी इंप्लीमेंट हो चुकी है।
कहा गया था जो 50% से एबव होने पर डीए उसे बेसिक में मर्ज करके टिल
आपका क्वेश्चन नोट कर लो।
मैं नोट कर लेता हूं, मैं समझ
स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स छत्तीसगढ़, वेस्ट बंगाल, कर्नाटका, बिहार, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal, all of them felt the decision taken in the last council meeting for 28% at face value on each one of them should be implemented, and implemented at the earliest. So I've named those states which I've mentioned, that Maharashtra, Gujarat also joined in this group of states which wanted this implemented in the very same way as the decision was taken in the 50th council, and implemented sooner. So the presentation went into the details of where the amendments will have to happen, what kind of amendments will have to happen, and it was also put to the House saying when can we start implementing this. The reason why that had to be asked was because states have to pass their own legislation subsequent to the center. Some of the states in fact came out to say we'll immediately, if in states where the sessions are going on, they said we'll do it now. Some of them said we'll bring an ordinance, but it has to be implemented. So the sum and substance is, of course there was also this concern saying the decision is not unanimous. Goa, Delhi said the decision is not unanimous. Both Revenue Secretary and I have reminded them that once earlier on a question of lottery, the decision was not unanimous. So yes, whilst the Council's legacy has been on a positive consensus-based decision making, there are times once earlier and now where the decision is not consensus-based. So this time you have Delhi wanting online to go back to the group of ministers and therefore dissenting. Goa and Sikkim wanted a higher tax, yes, but on the GGR possibly, whilst the Council had taken in the last meeting that it should be on face value. Only with respect to casinos, that is Goa and Sikkim. And therefore, the decision to amend the CGST had these dissenting voices. Delhi on online game, casino for Goa and Sikkim, and Tamil Nadu on online games having been banned. What are your changes going to affect us like? So they wanted a language to be put in saying where the ban has happened, obviously tax cannot be levied. So on that, Revenue Secretary had agreed, saying that he will give a language in the amendment so that Tamil Nadu's ban is taken cognizance of even in the amendments. So that is where today's outcome is. The Secretariat will work together. We'll get a amendment to the CGST taken up at the earliest, hopefully even in this session. And when the question of when to implement it came, 1st October is when it is expected, by which time the states also will pass their amendments to their state laws. And because on the casino, Goa and Sikkim kept appealing saying we are small states, we need to be given a consideration. Andhra Pradesh FM also said we should have large heart and help out small states. The Council agreed today to come back after 6 months to review the way in which this is getting implemented. When I say 6 months, it's not 6 consecutive months beginning from today. It begins from after when this gets implemented. 6 months of implementation hopefully will give us some inputs, and also we can share our experiences to see how it is going on. So the 6 months was agreed in the sense that we'll come back and review, but 6 months after implementation. So there can be a state which is going to come up with the legislation a bit later in amending. Ours, hopefully we want to pass through this session. So there can be different mileposts for different states. We are all hopeful that it gets implemented from 1st October. If it is 1st October when it gets implemented, 6 months from then, the Council can review the position. So there is one thing which rightly the Revenue Secretary is reminding me. The valuation of supply of online gaming and supply of actionable claims in casinos. I'll read that again. As regards valuation of supply of online gaming and supply of actionable claims in casinos, the Council recommended that valuation of supply of online gaming and actionable claims in casinos may be done based on the amount. This is the critical line. valuation of supply of online gaming and actionable claims in casinos may be done based on the amount paid or payable to or deposited with the supplier by or on behalf of the player, excluding the amount entered into games, bets out of winnings of previous games and bets, and not on the total value of each bet placed. Clear? Yes, entry, whatever they pay to get, let's say the chips, will be the amount, but not on what they pay in each game. So one simple example that I can give you is 1,000 rupees is given, chips are taken, you go into the casino, you pay the first 100 and play. In case you win something, you got a 300 in your hand, which means net is 1,300. That 300 doesn't get taxed. It is the 1,000 that you get yourselves taxed. Here at the entry level, 1,000 at the entry. 1,000 meaning whatever is the amount at the entry level. Okay. Now, the other thing which I want to add here, and on which I'm sure Revenue Secretary will highlight, a time for wait, because we normally come, say one time and come fairly afterwards. That's because of the council sometimes takes a longer time than one can predict. So today, as you all are aware, the council in its last meeting had taken a decision about taxing all the betting, gaming related activities, casinos, horse racing.
Good evening, friends. As you are aware that the 51st GST Council meeting happened today evening over virtual mode. Honorable Finance Minister and her team are here to brief us on the deliberations and the outcome of the meeting. May I take opportunity to welcome the Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. I extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am. I also extend warm welcome to the Secretary Revenue, Chairman CBIC, Member GST, and Member Tax Policy, who are also on the dais with us. Friends, as you know, today the GST Council meeting went on unexpectedly longer, for longer duration, and FM has some engagement due to which she will leave after her opening remarks. After that, the questions will be taken by the Secretary Sir and other members of CBIC. Therefore, I request Madam to give her opening remarks, and then we will take the questions and answer session. Over to Madam.
So, thank you very much, Malhotra ji, and thanks for the media. As always, GST meeting and post the meeting, the press conferences are normally a time for wait, because we normally come, say one time and come fairly afterwards. That's because of the council sometimes takes a longer time than one can predict. So today, as you all are aware, the council in its last meeting had taken a decision about taxing all the betting, gaming related activities, casinos, horse racing, online games, and therefore in the last meeting, when it was all discussed, after 3 full years of the GOM having done its job, it was decided, and I'm just putting it briefly, that all of them or each one of them will be taxed at 28% on face value. Now this meeting's agenda was, having taken that decision, the enabling provisions and amendments that are to be done in the central GST law, post which the respective states will have to do their own, in such a way that sometime after a couple of months we'll be able to implement the decision of the 50th GST Council. So today the meeting had a specific agenda of what are those amendments which have to be made, their language, and to take the view of the Council. In that, the discussion went on the agenda, but equally I must say, Minister from Delhi wanted the whole thing reviewed. First, in her intervention, she said this has to be reviewed, this should be sent back to GOM, and particularly on the online gaming. The discussion went on. Then Goa and Sikkim, who have interests in casino, also felt that the decision taken last time does hurt their interests, although they are in favor of a higher taxation, because today what is prevailing there is about 18% on GGR. Now the Council's decision in the last 50th meeting was 28% on face value. So Goa felt that they are not against increasing tax, but they wanted it on the GGR, and therefore there was again Goa's appeal. And I wish to mention here that the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa as well, along with the Finance Minister, was present at the meeting, and both of them very, very clearly appealed, saying, please, can there be a relook? So that was another. And the third was, of course, Sikkim, along with Goa, wanted to have a reconsideration on casinos. Then Tamil Nadu minister wanted, because in Tamil Nadu online games are banned, they had an apprehension that if taxing at 28% is coming through, will it make what their ban has been, will it nullify it, will it undermine it, will it dilute it? So he had some apprehensions, and he had written a letter to me earlier today, much before the meeting, saying please make sure that our concern is taken on board, and so on. So all in all, today's decision to amend the CGST and the language which has to be used and the sections where the corrections have to happen have all had a discussion. Even as I said about Delhi, Goa, Sikkim, and that one particular apprehension on online gaming which is banned in Tamil Nadu, there were other ministers who felt that we've already spent too much time discussing this. 3 years is a long time, and that we should implement the decision of the 50th Council which was taken last time at the earliest and not delay it any further. So ministers belong to all this is gaming, you're wagering on it. So on the GGR, the current reality is this. Current reality is 18% GGR, and we are talking approximate numbers. 18% GGR results in net 7 to 8% only of revenue. People are saying, okay, we don't mind 18 going to 28, but let it be on GGR. 18% going to 28% GGR will still only give me 12% and not more. So your original 18% is still not realized. So simpler alternative is 28% on the face value. And the other thing is, into a casino, will the board or will the state GST authorities have enough manpower to stand next to every roulette table and say how many people are betting, how many is won, how many people are redeploying that? There are practical difficulties also, and I'm talking about casino. So with all this in mind and the collective wisdom of the House, it was decided that we levy 28%, which is at the moment within the GST the highest rate, on face value. So that is the decision today. If there's anything in particular, any questions, Secretary will answer. Unless you have anything in particular for me, I'll take your leave.
Oh, we'll take up the, madam has urgent meeting.
Can the Secretary answer that question, please?
Yeah.
Can I be exempted? Thank you. Thank you.
Two things. A, what has been decided about offshore online gaming companies? Will there be some thing about their representative being established here? And also when ma'am mentioned about the decision being taken without a consensus like it was done for lottery, was there at any moment a call for voting also was it made in the council?
No, so your second question first, there was no voting because there were only a handful of states which the Honorable Minister has already mentioned. Sorry. So your second question first, which is, was there voting? No, there was no voting because there were very handful of states, 2 in the case of casino and 1 in the case of online gaming who had reservations. And on to your second question, yes, so we will be introducing a specific provision in the law to say that registration will be required for those entities which are offshore. The registration will be a simple process. And secondly, we are also saying that we can take, although there are provisions already existing in the IT Act, but still as a matter of abundant precaution, we are saying that in case any of the laws, including the provisions that we are introducing with respect to offshore, are not followed, then we can use the provisions of the IT Act to get those sites blocked.
Sir, Girish from. Hi, sir. Girish from Min. Sir, what would be the scope of the review after 6 months? And secondly, what will happen, in the case of gaming platforms which are currently paying at 18% on GGR? Will there be any tax demands which will come on a retrospective basis upon them, sir?
See, whatever has been decided today, or review is a constant process, but whatever has been decided today will be the subject matter of review. It was also clarified that this is actually an enabling provision that we are introducing in the Act. So a review will not necessitate again an amendment in any of the Acts. So if there is any review with respect to the valuation or with respect to the rate, which are the 2 major things, then they can be done with a simple notification or a change in the rules. So that is going to be the subject of the review. What was your second question? Sorry, you had another question, I think. No, so see, the amendments are actually, any amendment is prospective, it is not retrospective. But as mentioned even in the previous press conference and with the interaction with the media, this amendment is more of a clarification because betting has always been included. Betting, gambling and lottery, these are already included as actionable claims, and our belief is that even online gaming or the betting going on in online gaming, casinos and horse racing, these are also in the nature of betting only. And so they are taxable, and they are taxable at 28%. This has been our stand, but the High Court of Karnataka, you are aware, has not upheld that stand. We are in SLP. We have already filed an SLP yesterday. So we are in appeal, and whatever is decided, by the Supreme Court, that will prevail for the period till, we have amended the law and issued the notifications. ये जो उन्होंने जो बताया है माननीय मंत्री जी ने, वो ये बताया है कि सबसे पहले तो हम इसको लॉ को हम अमेंड करेंगे, और चूंकि लॉ केवल भारत सरकार को या संसद को ही केवल सेंट्रल लॉ में नहीं अमेंड करना है, बल्कि संशोधन जो राज्यों के जो SGST एक्ट है उसमें भी होना है, तो उसके लिए 2 महीने का समय दिया गया है। प्रयास है कि 1 अक्टूबर से इसे लागू किया जाए। जब ये एक बार लागू हो जाएगा तो उसके 6 महीने के उपरांत में इस पूरे मुद्दे को पुनः से एक रिव्यू किया जाएगा। इसकी जो अनुभव है उसके अनुभव के बेसिस के ऊपर में अगर कोई रिव्यू की आवश्यकता होगी तो वो रिव्यू किया जाएगा।
Yes. Hi, sir. So, sir, 2 questions. One very basic. So, what are the amendments which you will take to the Parliament? And 2 months' time, so obviously the option of an ordinance is also over, as Parliament will conclude sometime before mid-month. And so, second is specifically on casinos. So, as of now, casinos still have to pay 28% on total value of play money used to buy tokens, chips, question mark. If one pays 100 rupees to buy chips, she gets chips worth only rupees 72. Rupees 28 goes towards GST. That was the earlier interpretation, which is why Delta Corp, etc. fell the way they did. So, a bit of clarification there. And so, today's decision is not unanimous. It's not unanimous, or it's not unanimous basically, but the decision has been taken, right?
The decision is there and it's near unanimous. I mean, it may not be unanimous, but it is near unanimous. If only 2 states with respect to one amendment relating to casinos and 1 state with respect to online gaming,
that was Tamil Nadu?
That state was Delhi.
Delhi.
Tamil Nadu had some issues which, we will try to resolve with them. So if in case, we are able to resolve with them and we are able to agree to a language, their respect was, as the finance minister mentioned, it should not happen that by making these changes, online gaming also becomes legal. So we told them that betting is already existing. There is already a betting which is liable to GST today in the Act. That does not make betting legal if it is illegal, which it is. I mean, betting and gambling are illegal in the country, other than, in horse racing, etc., specific cases. So it is illegal if betting and gambling are illegal but still liable to a tax. Just by saying and including online gaming within the purview of the Act and making them liable to tax will not result in legalizing online gaming in their state if they have banned it or they have made it illegal. So this is the clarification that has been given. With respect to the amendments that are going to come in, it is basically amendment. 2 amendments, I would say. Others are consequential in nature. 1 amendment is relating to, as mentioned already, including in entry number 6, I think, of Schedule 3, online money gaming and casinos and horse racing within the purview, so they are not excluded from the purview. So that is 1 amendment, and because we are making that amendment, then we have to decide define as to what is online money gaming. Then we have to define, because online money gaming refers to to online gaming, so we have a definition for online gaming, and because it refers to virtual digital assets, so we have a definition for that. So this is 1 set of amendments. The other set of amendment is to say supplier, is to amend the definition of supplier for online money gaming and actionable claims, to say that even if you are arranging, you are not yourself providing an actionable claim, but you are arranging, like in a platform, if you are arranging a platform where actionable claims can be, and online games can be played, and actionable claims can be made, then you are also within the purview of the definition of supplier liable to pay the GST. These are the broadly, the two major changes, other than the third change, which I already mentioned, is about offshore gaming companies, which will require them to have a registration over here, and we will also have them liable to action under the IT Act in case they do not follow the provisions of this act.
So, sir, basically the fact that the council has agreed to it.
Yes. Yes. But let me say, see, a review is, the council can anytime review, right? That does not preclude, but this is an assurance to everyone that we will be reviewing after 6 months.
Chair.
Sir, when you said that every time the entry fee will be charged, that means whenever there is a fresh entry, that means if I bought 1,000 rupees, I have lost entire 1,000, I am again going to buy 1,000 rupees, then I have to pay another 28% on that. Am I right, sir? And the second part is, sir, that if you're talking about the definition of online gaming, will there be a kind of real money game as well as the fantasy game? The two difference will be there, and the GST will be levied only on the real money game, not on the fantasy one, sir?
No, we are differentiating between online gaming and online money gaming. So online gaming includes online money gaming, and online money gaming is online gaming where money is deposited with an expectation of a prize in the form of a money or money's worth on some outcome.
And fantasy gaming, sir, where the money is not deposited?
If there is no money deposited, then the question of GST does not arise.
Okay, sir.
So Meghna Mittal from Money Control. Many a times in these online gaming, the winnings might be paid in virtual digital currency, or the payments also might be made in virtual digital currency. Any provision for that to include that into the tax?
Yeah, so I mentioned that the virtual digital assets, we'll be defining, virtual digital currency also. We'll be defining, I think, virtual digital assets, I think. And we are borrowing the definition from the Income Tax Act. To include money paid even in that form, in the form of a virtual or a virtual digital currency. Even that will be liable to a tax. You are right. No, that is a different thing. If you are buying virtual digital assets, then that is liable perhaps to a tax, if you are buying virtual digital assets. But this is using virtual digital assets to buy, online money gaming or, casinos or anything.
Sir, Janani from BQ Prime. One question in terms of online gaming, was there any discussion on the determination of place of supply, considering that online gaming is virtual? How would this work out? How would the place of supply be determined?
Yes, so it's a good question. This was raised by Kerala. This was raised by some other states also, and so we have said that this will be clarified through rules or through a notification as may be required, because this is a larger question. This is not only with respect to online gaming, but this is with respect to even other services which can be provided online from one place, but the service is being delivered at maybe or being consumed at some other place. So because it's a larger question, that will be clarified separately. It does not need an amendment in the Act.
Sir, what is the compliance level of the overseas gaming platforms in India? And the blocking of the platforms who don't comply will be through only Information Technology Act, or any other act will also be used?
No, it will be the Information Technology Act only that we will use to block the sites.
Sir, while deciding online money gaming, will there be any distinction between game of skill and game of chance?
No, there is no distinction. This was the conscious decision of the GST Council in the last meeting, and the definitions and the provisions have been made accordingly.
Hi sir, this is Sumit Chaturvedi, ET Now. So regarding these online gaming platform which are based overseas, many times they are not traceable, or they keep on changing their IP addresses or keep on changing their other addresses. So how in that case, how the problem will be solved?